pints all, but it was a great league game.
Kilkenny, of course, had to play that second half with 14 men. Michael Grace getting sent off. Seemed to be a bit of a schmozzle out on the side. Now, what did you make of it?
Yeah, it was a schmozzle. He got a few dunks himself, but he did use the hurl. He kind of stabbed with the hurl, and if you watch it closely, he used the handle. That's where the real problem was. So they're all around here. He's actually in the white helmet. He's not in the frame here at the moment. But you see Brian Murphy and Shane, they're at it here, and a little tap and forth, and the linesman see what's going on. He stabs out there, and then he lets, from the other angle, you can see he lets the top of the hurl, the hand of the hurl across and kind of up at the face. You can't do that. Now, it was a lot of handbag stuff. Cork were up and down today because they felt they couldn't see the two boys here. Now he'd give a little stab, but he got a stab as well. Number 7 gives him a right. He got a right from the wing back, Murphy, and he hit back. He was unlucky enough, but you just can't do that. There now again, watch number 7 hitting here, just a right there. He got it, and he comes back around his face guard. You can't do it. But like, you'd have to say that Shane, Brian Murphy was very lucky that he wasn't sent off as well. It's tough looking Michael Grace. He's trying to make the team, but you just can't strike with a hurl.
I suppose, again, going back to the Cork side of it, it's good to see those Cork star players involved in hurling this time of the year, as opposed to the issues that were going on last year. Fellas like John Gardner, who like is such a class act, and
Gardner was
you were impressed with him today.
He was more or less on strike last year, and by God, he was on strike today, but just the other way around. He's a great hurler. Any young lad growing up should look at this fella, left and right. Today he led by example. I think got around 7 points. But look at this in the right spot. They need this score right over the bar. You had a feeling today every time he struck a ball, it was there to be played. And if you look at his composure, he's carrying no weight at all. Now this time he catches this ball again, they ran up and here, cuts across here. Now this is on his left side, and again about 65-70 yards out over the bar. He got about 7 points, 5 from frees, 2 from play. To me, he was man of the match. Had a great game all through, and it's great to see him back hurling again.
No doubt about that. OK, now time to have a look at the results and at the league tables in Division 1 and Division 2. So then, Tip pulling off a big turnaround against Galway, who looked like they were heading for victory. Cork's win then over Kilkenny, Offaly getting the better of Dublin. They were level at half-time there, by the way. And Waterford's 10-point win over Limerick. And this then, Cyril Farrell, is how the table looks in Division 1 this evening.
Yeah, well, it's looking good for Cork, 6 points out. Waterford, Galway and Tip are very tight, and like 4 points each. Limerick, well, it's usually Kilkenny with only 2 points out of 3 games. Limerick at the bottom. But I suppose there is good news for Limerick, because last week a great kind of final between Ors Kilreach and Turlough CBS, and the third time of asking Ors Kilreach come out on top. It's sad what's going on in Limerick. Someone needs to step in and sort it out.
OK. The results in Division 2 then. Well, Clare and Wexford finished level in Ennis, Carlow with another good win in the division, and Laois with a comfortable win over Antrim at Casement Park. And this is how the table stands there.
Well, Clare and Wexford will be the top 2 teams in the Mike, and they expect they should be on top. Clare will be they won't be happy this evening. They're well in front of and let Wexford back into a game. It's disappointing to see Westmeath with no score, but like Clare, Wexford and Laois should probably fight out for the top spot in that division. OK, we're going to move on, because in Division 3A, London had a 1-point win over Armagh. Kerry, big winners over Meath, and Derry with a good win over Mayo, and Kerry lead the way there. Meanwhile, in Division 3B, Wicklow beating Sligo, Louth overcoming Roscommon, and Fingal with a victory over Donegal. And then finally, in Division 4, Fermanagh 2 points winners over Cavan, Monaghan 4 points winners against Longford, and Leitrim beat South Down by 5 points. Monaghan topped the table. OK, time for another break here on Sunday Sport. Now, when we come back, we'll be looking ahead to the All-Ireland Club Finals on St Patrick's Day. Join us again for that. Now, here on Sunday Sport, for the next while, we're going to concentrate on the All-Ireland Club Finals, which take place at Croke Park on St Patrick's Day. Well, the football final throws up a contest that nobody could have predicted. The champions of Clare and Munster, Kilmurray-Bricken, taking on the kingpins of Antrim and Ulster, St Gall's. Both clubs are seeking history and immortality with the first All-Ireland club football title. But where will the bonfires blaze on Wednesday night? Will it be along the beaches of West Clare or on the Falls Road of Belfast? With a special insight, here's Marty Morrissey.
This is Belfast, a city built around the River Lagan in the picturesque county of Antrim. It's a city with a long history of strife and struggle, which now thankfully is experiencing peaceful times. The Falls Road in West Belfast didn't escape the troubles, and through it all, the GAA shone through. Within a 6-mile radius in West Belfast, there are incredibly 15 GAA clubs supplying a service to the community. Intense rivalry dominate, but one club clearly stands out. St Gall's have won 8 out of the last 9 Antrim championships, accumulated 3 Ulster titles in their time, and are now facing into their second All-Ireland final appearance next Wednesday.
It's obviously important to the players themselves because they are getting a second chance to hopefully right whatever went wrong 4 years ago. And it's also very important, not only for me and the players, but for the club as a whole, because this is our centenary year.
The club was founded in 1910 and the centenary is a huge motivation. St Gall's chairman Paul Flanagan is an auto electrician and he believes the club are already on the right road.
At my chairman's address last year, I says it would be absolutely fantastic to be at Croke Park in our centenary year, but I never once thought that we would be there twice with the hurling and with the football.
Sean Kelly is part of the St Gall's management team. His two sons are playing in the half-back line. What's the reason for St Gall's success?
It is a family club and it's gelled together, by the families. And when they're going out, they go out together. When they go out to play football, they go out together. And as CJ McCurdy would say, it is a band of brothers, and it's one of the band of brothers that will never be broke. Over this past 35, 40 years, there has been no good news stories. And for St Gall's to come up on St Patrick's night with the trophy after winning the All-Ireland Football Club finals would be something that we keep and cherish for the rest of our lives, and something that the Falls Road people now deserve.
Terry O'Neill is a PE teacher in the local Christian Brothers School on the Glen Road. He plays wing forward in Wednesday's All-Ireland final.
I'd say it'll be a very tight game, something similar to the Corofin game. Not many scores be given away, and any scores that you do get will be hard work.
How important do you think is the Croke Park factor?
We were lucky enough to be there 4 years ago. Our hurlers were there in the intermediate hurling semi-final, or intermediate hurling final, 3-4 weeks ago now. So there's a lot of boys who have experience. We've also played in the Tommy Murphy finals there as well with the county. So there's a lot of boys within our team who have a lot of experience there.
St Gall's were impressive in their semi-final victory over Corofin. In 2006, they lost to another Galway team, Salt Hill, in the final. Will that experience see them past the winning post this time?
For the club, this is the highest level that we want to be at. We know personally, for years we've tried, we've let ourselves down on different occasions. We've just fell short. We've now another chance to get back here. 4 years ago, I sat in the pitch at the end of it thinking this was it. Is this the last chance we're going to get? Now we've worked hard. We're back here. It's hard to describe how it'll feel if we did win it. But there's still a lot of hard work to be done before that.
When people think of County Clare, they think of traditional Irish music, they think of hurling, and of course they think of the Cliffs of Moher. But perhaps from now on, they may want to visit the parish of Kilmurray-Arbricken, 7.5 miles down the coast, the first Clare club to ever reach Croke Park for an All-Ireland club football final. Tommy Galvin has been fishing full-time off the west coast of Clare for over 30 years. His great passion, however, is football and his club.
Well, football is our second religion. I mean, I can't imagine what this area would be like without GA.
What are you going to feel, Tommy, when Kilmurray run out onto the pitch, out of the Hogan stand?
I don't know. I know one thing, I will be crying. Like, I'm even thinking about it now, I am, because to see that bunch of boys, they've been through so much down the years, they've given us such great memories at every age group. They know how to win. And I think that's the biggest attribute they have gone into Croke Park, is they know how to win, they're used to winning, and they like winning.
The parish of Kilmurray-Arbricken lies smack in the middle of the west coast of Clare and consists of the villages of Quilty, Mullack and the townland of Coor. Football is the heartbeat of the community. 30 years ago, the club initiated an underage policy that brought unprecedented success, including a Féile title, ironically enough, in Croke Park.
There's euphoria throughout the parish. People are really, really delighted with getting this far. I suppose it's beyond our wildest expectations for a small rural parish in the west of Ireland to get this far when you're competing against the big town teams. But the passion in football here is unbelievable. Each and every member of the community is involved in the GAA here, and our sponsors this year are the parish, because we don't have any big multinationals within the parish, and basically our sponsorship comes from each and every household in the parish.
It's a homegrown club with homegrown talent. They have now won 2 Munster titles, but it's the All-Ireland that they really want.
It would have been always a dream for us to play up in Croke Park, on our final day, but and there was no guarantee you were going to do it. But in fairness to Patrick Murray and a lot more, they put in a serious effort and a serious amount of time and money into us when we were young, and thankfully for them as well, the benefit seems to have paid off,
Everywhere you go, whether it's for breakfast or sitting down in a restaurant or whatever it is, everyone's talking about the game. Clare football hasn't had anything like this. And God, I don't remember any time we've had it like this in Clare football anyway. So this is the biggest day that the club has ever had or probably will ever have.